Hello and welcome to a little tutorial video that I'm going to be showing you. Today I will be showing how you can build a energy core, which can store power depending on how big you build it, and I'll be showing how you can make that power and store it. It's not that bad to build, but you just need a lot of materials and a lot of time. Alright, so the first thing you will need is a energy pylon. So the first thing we'll be doing is the power in, power out. So what you'll want to do is put 3 like this, and take a piece of glass and put it on top, and it will make these little orbs, and you want to repeat that the second time. There we go. Now when you click on one of these orbs, it'll change the color from blue to this orangey red, and the arrows will change. So when the arrows are pointing into the red circle or the red cube inside, that means that power is going in and this is power out. So you want power in and one power out. There we go. We have all of that. Now, so what you'll need for the power bank is a energy core and energy core stabilizers. And take the stabilizers and put them at least 2 blocks away. You can do more, but I think the limit is 16, so I wouldn't put them too far. And when you have something like this, you can just activate, and there you go. You have a tier 1. And if the connection isn't working, then all you have to do is just break one of these, put it back, and a little effect should show up. There we go. So here, let's do an example. We have a creative energy cube, and some universal cable, and you'll want to connect that, and the power is going to go into the generator, the storage, and here you can see how long it's going to last and how much storage there is. The capacity for tier 1 is 45 million RF, and if you'll be making tier 2, tier 3 and all those tiers, you'll want to place these further and further away, because this is going to get bigger and bigger. And if you want to output it, you'll just put a cable, or you could put a flux plug and a flux point in one of these. So you can do, so you'll put a flux plug here, connect it to a network, and put a flux point here. You can connect anything to it. Connected to the same network, and it's transmitting power. You will want, again, the same thing. You'll just take an energy pylon, put them in the same shape, put glass on top, make these output, and for the tier 8, you will want to go at least 7 blocks up. And here you can place your energy core, and then if you want a build guide, you can change it here. So for the tier 2 core, all you'll need is just to cover it like this with these blocks. And even that, you can do assemble core. I am in creative, but if you will need to have all of the blocks in your inventory, and then click assemble core, and it will assemble it for you. And for you can just keep on clicking tier up, and it's going to be showing you how much you need. There we go. You want to put it out of the radius of this ball. So put a how many blocks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. about 8 blocks or 9, 10 blocks. Just to be safe, I put it on 11. But you should be safe if it's still outside of it. Then what you want to do is take out the energy core stabilizers again, and make a little square, and fill the center, and it's gonna be a big stabilizer, and you'll do this for every single side. There we are, it's done for every single side. And now what you want to do is go back into the middle. It'll tell you if there's something wrong with it, if it's way too close or way too far, and then you can build it up. This is gonna take a while. Alright, it's all finished. And again, if it doesn't connect, then just destroy one of these glass balls. And oops, I switched this one. And just place them back, just to be sure. And just to power it, you'll click on one of these and click activate. And your storage is done. The storage in this one is almost infinite. It's very handy to have this. Now we're going to be moving on to the reactor. This mod is Extreme Reactors. You can build a 3x3, and I think it goes up to 18x18. I'm not really sure how big it can go. This isn't as material expensive. Well, only for the cooling inside, depending on what you want to use. You can use diamonds, iron, and gold too, and liquid cooling is a little bit better. Water isn't the best. You can use cryotheum to cool it. That's, I think, the best cooling that you can have. Or you could use if you have a big base and you have a lot of things to power, then I would recommend a 10x10 or maybe even bigger. But if you have a smaller base and you don't have much things to power, you can just be completely fine with a 5x5 or a 3x3. For this, you will want to use reactor casing, reactor glass, reactor control rod, reactor fuel rod, a controller, redstone flux power tap, and a access port. Alright, so what you want to be doing is create a 10x10 frame. Then you want to fill in the base. Alright, when you have the middle done, you'll start building a cube out of it. Well, put the pillars. Alright, now when you have the frame, you can start placing you can place the screen, the access port, and you can place the reactor port anywhere you want. I mean, you can place the power tap anywhere you want. Okay, the next step is just to fill it up with glass, or you could fill it up with the reactor casing. Alright, there we go. When you have the glass in, it's all filled in, you can start placing in the fuel rods. These you can place basically anywhere. And while the time lapse, you might have seen some text in my chat, and that is when you click on the reactor, it shows you what you need, what you're missing. So if you would be missing anything, it would just tell you what you need more, what thing you need. I like to place these like this, just formed like in one in each corner. And you could stop here, but it's kind of a waste of space, you know. But more fuel rods, then that means, you know, more fuel, and then you'll have much more heat coming out. So be sure not to overdo it too much. There. Now, again, you can choose whichever one you want, whichever coolant you want. Critium is pretty heavy, so it just, you know, flops down like that. What I would recommend doing, though, is making some sort of a platform right here on this level. You can use any blocks. You don't need, it doesn't need to be the frame. And depending again on the liquid that you're using, you know, cratium falls down, so you can't do this method with it. You'll need to go down and fill it up manually. So actually for this demonstration I will use this. Oops. I will use Resonant Ender because it flows down better and it's going to be a little bit faster. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have used the frame blocks because my chat is being spammed. That's fine. And just fill all these up. If you're going to be using this, if you're going to be using Resonant Ender, be careful with it, because if you fall in it, you'll get teleported. So do it from the edge and just jump in the middle and fill it up. Now that you have this filled up, you can just break the blocks under it and everything else will fill up. Alright, I think that should be all the blocks. Yeah, I think that's all. Right? Yeah. Right, now that you have all this filled up, you'll take the control rods and you'll just put them on top of these, on top of the fuel rods, and then you'll fill up the top. If it doesn't change textures like this, then you might be doing something wrong. So check your build. Alright, now that you go in here, yeah, here is the information tab. So basically all you need to know is these three, and this one. This is the, well, all of these. This is the fuel, this is the heat of the temperature of the casing, this is the temperature of the inside of the cores, and this is the energy inside. So basically you want this to be low, you want this to be high, and this you want to be much lower, because if this is way too high and this is way too low, then your reactor might be doing not good things. It will be consuming a lot of your yellorium or uranium, and it won't be as efficient. So you want the core heat much lower and the casing heat much higher. And for me, for some reason, in Stormblock 2, I don't have yellowstone. I mean, yellorium. For some reason, I don't have it. Yellorium ingot. You need to use those. But uranium is fine. I found out for 10x10 and for 8 control rods, you will need 3 stacks. No, 4 stacks. Sorry, 4 stacks of it. And now that it's all filled up, you can start the generator. Alright, so we're already at full capacity, and this is looking nice. This could be higher, but it's fine if it's not too low, if it's not too high. And inside here, after some time you will be getting cyanide, so you'll be needing to take that out. I would recommend you to just put an extra stack in so you can take and then get if it ever needs it, if it ever runs out. And now you can just take a cable and run it out. Oops, I'm way too close. There we go. And now it's getting transferred inside of it. One more thing I want to mention: if you don't want the reactor to be producing that much power, and you don't want it to be consuming that much uranium or yellorium, you'll want to go in here and lower the control rods. So basically, how far down you lower the control rods, and then that's how much it's going to be consuming and outputting power. So, oops, I don't want to do that. So if you right click on it, you can name it if you want, and you can modify each control rod, but if you want to lower all of them at once, you'll have to hold a control and then insert. So if it's going to be at 50, it's going to be taking just only 50% of the uranium that you put in, and it's going to be outputting 50% power. And if you want to stop it without stopping it, I don't know why we would want to do that, but you can put it to 100%, and it's not going to be making any power. It's not going to be making any. It's not going to be taking any uranium. So if you don't want it to consume that much, you can put it like 30, 20, 10. It doesn't matter. So yeah, that's how you build these two. You can put these in your base or outside of your base, anywhere you want. And yeah, they're nicely safe, so you don't need to worry about them blowing up or anything. At least I didn't experiment that much with them, but it shouldn't blow up. And yeah, that's how you do them. Not that hard, but pretty expensive on the materials, but it's very useful. If you like this kind of content, I will be making more tutorials for these. And yeah, see you guys later.